Hi everyone, please join Kimberly and I for our first ever travel video to Norway. Our trip started by leaving the US, flying all the way across the Atlantic to Paris. There we had a quick little 6-hour pit stop at the Paris airport, so not quite as fast as this video before it was on our way to Oslo. We landed in Oslo, and there we found out they actually have a high-speed rail that takes you all the way to Oslo city. And before you knew it, we were in Oslo, finding a cab that would take us to the hotel. We just arrived at our hotel in Oslo. We just got here after 16 hours of travel, just about. So we're pretty tired. We didn't sleep a lot on the plane, and then getting here was interesting, trying to find a cab, but we got here and check-in, there was also some issues. They said they couldn't find our name, but luckily we had the email and we were able to get on and get into the room. And they said it's the nicest room that they have, which we didn't know that we got, but let's go check it out.
Today is day 2 in Oslo, and now that it's daytime, we figured out that there is a balcony that we have along with this beautiful hotel room.
It's not as cold as I was expecting, so that's good. So let's go explore the city.
We spent our day just walking around Oslo and exploring the city. We saw the Opera House, which is an amazing piece of architecture. Further into the city, we stumbled across the palace and got to witness the changing of the guard. That evening, we went out to have the first of many incredible course dinners. And now we're off to Svalbard.
So walking into Funken Lodge, you can see this is the reception area. Not super impressive. I mean, looks beautiful. But then you come up to this counter and you're like, where is the people that are supposed to greet me? And you come across this sign, and it is tradition to take off your boots and leave them in this beautiful room. And in there they have house shoes to put on, and that way you can leave your boots down here or bring them up in your room, but you don't bring all the dirty coal into the hotel and room with you. So this is Kimberly demonstrating this time-honored tradition. So yeah, you just pull out these little house shoes, slip them on, and that is your footwear. Of course, the rest of the hotel is just as amazing, and on our way to the room, we got a quick tour. And fun fact, this piece of art was gifted to the hotel by the royal family of Norway. And of course the room was beautiful as well. It'd be the perfect place to spend the night so we can be ready for the next few days of hiking, snowmobiling, museums, and of course the Huskey Café. are just now leaving our hotel, the Funken Lodge. Originally, we had planned to do a snowmobile trip out to the middle of nowhere and to maybe catch a northern light, which apparently today would have been a good day. However, in typical goal fashion, one of us sustained an injury. This time it was me. I was bending over, putting a tag on my back, and had a back spasm, so I am dealing with that. And we decided that maybe doing a 4-hour, 3-hour snowmobile trip with that going on wasn't the best idea. So instead, today we're going to go check out the museums, check out probably the Huskey Café. I'll turn the camera around. Well, actually, here, let's do it this way. You can kind of see a little bit of glimmer of light back there. And that's about all the light we're going to get for today.
And you hear us walking on ice. We have crampons, is what they're called. It's just little spikes on our shoes. It's so loud, but this is just straight up ice. It's only 2:30 at night.
Oh yeah, it might seem like it's very, very late at night, but it's 2:30 in the afternoon. So we're getting lunch, but it seems much later. Oh look, it's the
bus we came in on.
The bus we came in on. They are probably gonna stop here to drop off people at the hotel. This is how you get from the airport to the hotel. So right here, this is essentially the main pedestrian part of this Arctic outpost, and it's actually really nice. I'm very surprised by how nice it is here. Kimberly and I were wondering earlier how we can get around besides walking. Apparently up here on the North Pole they have taxis, so that would have also been an option.
We visited the Svalbard Museum, and they had a lot of displays and information on the animals native to the island and Arctic Circle. Rumor has it that the polar bear population outnumbers the human population on this island. Standing next to this life-size polar bear made me realize how scary it would be to encounter one in real life. Until I looked at those ears. I mean, come on, explain that.
They're Norway, and this place is very stringent on not killing polar bears. They actually don't even allow any kind of expeditions or trips looking for polar bears. If you see polar bears on any other expedition, that's fine, but they don't have expeditions specifically to look for polar bears.
We visited the Huskey Café each day we were in Svalbard. Not only are the employees adorable and demanding of pets, the coffee and sweets were so tasty. The perfect way to get out of the cold and get in my daily dose of petting dogs. Unfortunately, we had to leave the day they had the puppies visiting. The hotel we stayed at, Funken Lodge, has both a champagne cellar and wine cellar. We had a private tasting in the champagne cellar where we had 3 glasses of fantastic champagne that was paired with canapes. The restaurant here at the hotel, I'm unable to pronounce it correctly, originally was a place for the sophisticated officials of the coal mining company to eat and spend time. Since they continued to recognize the traditions of the coal mining days, we were in the beautiful wine cellar and extravagant restaurant in our slippers. That evening, we enjoyed another coursed menu with a wine pairing. We were so full afterwards and the food was amazing. We met a girl during dinner who grew up on the mainland in Norway. We spoke all about our cultural differences, seeing the Northern Lights, unique laws in Svalbard, and she tipped us off about another restaurant in town we should try.
But yeah, today, so we went on a hike today. It was supposed to be on top of this mountain. Yeah, it's kind of showing up, but yeah, on top of that mountain. There's a few in the group where we got halfway up, and it was a lot more strenuous than you would think.
Yeah.
Well, looking at it from this angle, it makes sense that it's strenuous to get up there. But so yeah, it was. We turned around early. We made it about halfway up. We got a nice view of the fjord, and then we went to the seed vault. And the seed vault is obviously a location here in Norway to where all the nations of the world can store their seeds, and these seeds are supposed to help in any global catastrophe. I need to look up the exact numbers, but they have a lot of seeds there, and it could protect the world from famine or anything like that. So very good to have this here. I'll probably show some pictures here in the video, but essentially the vault has a very cool ceiling to the entrance. Come to find out, even though we are right at the North Pole, and you imagine seeing Northern Lights at the North Pole, that is not the case. We are too far north, and we need to be further south. And our next destination is Tromso, and apparently Tromso is one of the best places in the world to see the Northern Lights. So yeah, we're back at the hotel. We're gonna change and get ready for tonight's activities at a new restaurant. 12-course menu, so we'll see how that goes. After this amazing course menu and a few too many glasses of wine, a tipsy walk back to the hotel, it was already our last night at Funken Lodge, and we are on to our next adventure in Tromso.
Tromso is our next stop and also the longest. We had plans to chase the Northern Lights, go dog sledding, feed some reindeer, and go on a dinner cruise on an electric catamaran. Although it looks like we have daylight, it's not quite the sun rising. It's just a little bit of light peeking over the horizon, but there's never actually a sunrise. And the light is only for a few hours in the middle of the day. We went out into the city for kind of to explore. We walked across this really huge bridge, which we'll show pictures of, to go look at the Arctic Cathedral. And then we walked over a little bit further to do a cable car up to the top of this mountain.
Coming at you from the top of Tromso, and I don't know if the mic's picking it up, hopefully not too much, but maybe a little. It is very, very windy up here, but it's probably worth it because the view is beautiful. There we go, in the background, all the fjord with Tromso Island. Kimberly's having a hard time facing into the wind. Here we can face the other way, maybe the microphone will pick up some of it. Oh. Yep, I'm sure you can hear it now.
Now, when we left, it was about 3 o'clock, and as we were coming down into the city, it was just got crazy, crazy windier, and then we found out that they actually canceled all the cable cars for that mountain because of the winds, and the winds were insane. Today, what we did is we went to go experience Sami culture and do reindeer sledding and feeding reindeers. So Sami are essentially the natives of this land up here in northern Norway, northern Sweden, I believe northern Finland, and parts of like the northern Russia area, like this Arctic area. So how it first started is we took a short bus ride there. We went on a reindeer sledding, which was really cute. The reindeers, I don't know, they just look like giant dogs is the best way to describe it. And they just kind of kept looking at you like, hey, what's going on? Really, really slow. Then we got to feed the reindeer, and they were really, really cute. It was funny to see them with this hierarchy in the reindeer. One would come over and eat out of the bucket, and then if this other one approached, they would move out of the way, or immediately, or sometimes they would wait to get nudged and move out of the way. So it was funny to see that happening. And one of the reindeer even hit me and I think Eric with this hoof, or her hoof. So then, I had some hot chocolate and a cookie. I smell like a campfire right now because of course the only way to keep warm was to be around a campfire. And then we had a lunch, and then we got to experience some of the Sami culture. A woman who is a Sami person spoke to us. She said she is a sea Sami, and she actually decided to become a marine biologist. She told us about the reindeer, and the reindeer, so all of the reindeer with antlers are females, but also it turns out they're all pregnant right now, so that's why they're all being a little crazy with the food. So that was kind of funny to find out. I guess they have their antlers until they give birth, and then their antlers fall off so that they don't hurt the baby when they go to lick the baby. And the males only get the antlers up until mating season. That way, they can show off basically their big strong antlers, and then they fall off. And then she just kind of explained some of the traditions of the Sami culture. I the way this tent that we were in, I think a luva, they have like a fire going, and in their culture, their ancestors or spirits are at the top. So as the smoke rises, they will put in food or tobacco or anything to share with the spirits, because that's the only thing that they miss of the living world. And she sang us this beautiful song of her people. Now we're just waiting, probably gonna head down soon, and we're gonna get picked up by a minibus, so probably like a van really, to go chase the northern lights. We don't know where we're going. They said you can go as far as Finland. You know, we'll have like another bonfire, so we're really gonna smell like a bonfire tomorrow, and a meal and a drink, and kind of just hanging out in the wilderness. No polar bears here, but wolves, so you know, we'll see what happens. But that's all for now, and hopefully we get to see some really cool northern lights. So last we spoke, we were heading to chase the northern lights, and we were so successful. It was a great experience. We booked the minibus chasing lights tour. Within like what, 20 or 30 minutes we stopped to look at some northern lights, and it was really, really beautiful. I think we did our best by booking the mini bus, because the bigger bus would hold about 50 people, you know, almost like a tourist bus. And that bus can only fit into certain areas. Meanwhile, our mini bus is just a minivan, a big minivan, and can, you know, just stop on the side of the road. And so it was incredible. We got to see so many northern lights. So exactly what we came here for. It was great.
On the other hand, look at these waves. This is not what we came here for. We wanted to have a nice dinner cruise, but with this weather, and look at these pictures, it just got worse throughout the night. We didn't want to be on a boat in this kind of weather trying to enjoy a dinner. So we canceled, and we decided to do some other things and just walk around the city, take these videos, and just take in the Arctic experience, because this is how I imagine it, not the rain. Told Kimberly I'd jump in if we found a little sauna place, but I haven't seen any yet. I did find a sauna here where you can jump into the water, so I'm hoping to find some time to get that done. Maybe this will be the day where I can go to the sauna.
Okay. I guess we're doing a sauna.
Maybe.
We'll
Maybe.
see. We
I'm
will keep you
nervous.
posted.
That was a lot of fun, even though it was really cold. I'm glad I got to experience that. And overall, Tromso was a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend anybody going there to visit. The tiniest bar, nice churches, beautiful cities, lots of lights during the Christmas time, but that was it for Tromso. We arrived in Alta, and Even though the other rooms were nice, this is the room we splurged on, and it was worth it. The room was amazing. The hotel was amazing. I am so happy we did this. The history of this region is deeply rooted in fishing, and it is very obvious just walking through the halls of this hotel.
It was the best experience ever, and we also got some beautiful views of the frozen river. Since our dog sledding experience got canceled in Tromso, we called and were able to set it up in Alta.
Besides seeing the Northern Lights, doing a dog sledding experience was on the top of our list of things to do while we're in Norway. And because of that, we took a lot of videos. And instead of boring you with just music and us dog sledding, I'm going to go ahead and recap the trip and our overall thoughts on the different locations. So let's start off with Svalbard. First of all, that place was amazing. The constant darkness was actually pretty fun, and the only downside that we really experienced with it is we never knew when lunch was happening. It always seemed like it was later or earlier in the day, and it was really hard to get your bearings about time. We also tried to go to the very famous warning polar bear sign that's on the edge of town, but while walking there, it was really dark and really lonely, and we couldn't see very far, so we turned around because we did get a little bit scared. But I would say anybody should go up to this place. It is so amazing.
And then we got to Tromso, and the city was really incredible. We stayed there for 5 days, but I think if you're planning something, 3 days and 4 nights there would be perfect. We went to a few museums that had exhibits that showed the effects of global warming. It was easy to believe since we were in the Arctic Circle in January and we're only experiencing rain. On a positive note, and the reason we went to Norway was to see the Northern Lights. We wish we did the Chasing Lights tour sooner, as they taught us how to identify the lights. It's different on camera than it is to the naked eye. It was such a great experience.
Our current stop is Alta, and this hotel we stayed at, I can never pronounce the name, was amazing. The restaurant was, I'm guessing, Michelin quality food. The rooms were the ultimate luxury experience. The windows viewing the sky was a nice touch. However, this hotel is very remote, so makes viewing Northern Lights very easy because there's no light pollution, but there's not much to do besides dog sledding or snowmobiling. With that said, we do wish we would have stayed an extra night here instead of Tromso.
After we each got a turn to drive, we ended by getting to give our crew lots of pets. Oh yeah.
You guys cut it? Cut it? Oh, look at. Oh, okay. Oh, look at this. Let's get this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, get in that snow. Get in that snow. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hi, guys.
Who wants cuddles?
He said these are sweethearts.
Hi. You are a sweetheart. You are so strong, though. You guys are so strong, aren't you? Okay. Are you a cat? Are you a cat? What's happening? What is happening?
Every year, the hotel we stayed at builds an elaborate ice hotel in a different theme. It looks very unsuspecting on the outside, but the inside is incredible. A unique thing here is you can actually host a wedding in this chapel. You can even stay overnight in one of these rooms, which is something that we considered for a second, until we realized it would be so cold that you could freeze to the bed. This year's theme was Africa, which, spoilers, is very fitting considering our next big trip.
Hi, so this is the Ice Hotel. It's been pretty cool so far. Cruise ship came in earlier. Apparently they have cruise ships up here, and they took a look at this, and it was pretty crowded when we first got here, but now it's looking pretty good. So we have the whole place to ourselves. Just got back from some dog sledding, and that was an incredible experience.
Yes.
The weather was perfect. There's probably the most I recorded out of it. It was super easy. Luckily we didn't have to steer, just kind of follow the leader kind of deal. And yeah, it was really fun to do.
So now we're gonna go hit up the sauna and jacuzzi and then have another incredible dinner and enjoy our last night here. We really wish we could have spent more time here because it's just so beautiful.
And just like that, we were on the train back to Oslo for our last day in Norway. Those 2 weeks really went by quick.
This is the first time we've seen actual sunlight in 2 weeks.
Something Kimberly and I try to do at every location is a food and city tour. This allows us to taste the local foods and see parts of the city we wouldn't have otherwise. This time we got to see a part of the city we weren't able to see the first time, so that was a lot of fun, and this part of the city seemed a lot more urban and a lot less touristy. We found out that hot dogs are super popular in Oslo, but I have to say it wasn't my favorite. It tasted like a crunchy hot dog on a corn tortilla with dried onions. They have Coke that tastes like the Haribo Coca-Colas. And apparently this is a very famous Waffle House in Oslo. And apparently the must-have was this, a waffle with sour cream, jam, and brown cheese. Apparently it's super popular in Norway. Before we knew it, that tour was done as well, and it was time to head back to the hotel for our last night in Oslo. The next day when we arrived at the airport, I was reminded that we completely forgot that Vikings were a thing here and we didn't look at any of that stuff. Well, it was a 24-hour trip back home and we started off good, but once we got home, we looked pretty tired. Well, see you guys next time.